Hi, this is Miss S, and I'm here to share with you a short classroom management tip of the day. I teach middle school, so this tip, primarily works for middle schoolers, although you could try this for elementary or high school, and you can let me know in the comments how it goes. But this is a short classroom management tip to silence a noisy classroom. It gets students' attention, and it's a procedure to use every single day to get students in the habit of becoming silent and focused when you want to be giving direct instruction, and also to be clear with students when it's okay for them to talk. So this is what I call the noise method. So at the front of my middle school classroom, and I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I have what I call the noise chart. On the noise chart, I have the word noise written in big letters, and then I also have two boxes. One is the conversation box, and one is the silence box. So for example, when there's also a magnet, which is what this little blue diamond is representing. So in my classroom, when the magnet is on the silence box, this means that students are supposed to be silent and focused in class when I'm giving direct instruction. Whenever the magnet is on the conversation box, this is a time where it's okay for students to take a break and talk with one another in the class, to have conversations with one another. And it's a way for students to know for sure when it's okay to talk and when it's not okay to talk in class. So if they're ever confused, they can just simply look up at the noise chart and see whether we're on the conversation box or the silence box. Now I want to walk you through how I use the word noise written up here. So typically in my classroom, when my students enter in my classroom, the magnet is on the conversation box, so it's okay for students to talk as they're coming in my classroom. But when I want to get class started, what I do is I ring a wind chime to signal that class is starting. The wind chime is the silent signal, and students are expected to become silent and focused. But if students do not become silent, then I have to go over and erase an E. At this point, I'll actually ring the wind chime again. I'll ring our silent signal again. But again, if students do not become silent and focused, I have to erase an S. I'll then again ring the wind chime. But if students do not become silent and focused, I'll have to erase the I. At this point, students know that when we get to NO, this means that I've had to ring the silent signal, the wind chime, too many times. And at this point, I'll tell students we're going to have to do a silent minute. And students know what to do. I have students sit in a minute of silence, timed for exactly 1 minute. And if any students do try to talk, I simply just add on 10 or 20 more seconds. Usually this works because other students in the class begin to get frustrated, and just the peer pressure of getting the silent minute over with works. So I would say, at least in my experience, 90% of the time this works to get students silent and focused. And even if there are 1 or 2 students that try to interrupt or talk during the silent minute, it's very short-lived, and they get on board with what we're trying to do. So again, this is the noise chart method. There are more elements to this, but this is my short classroom management tip of the day. But please keep in mind that this method takes practice and time for students to get used to. So it's very normal for it not to work the first couple times that you do it. So students really have to practice and get into the routine of using it. But once they get the hang of it, It's an effective classroom management tool to have students silent and focused when you are giving instruction, and to also be clear when they can talk and have conversations with one another in class. So that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short classroom management tip.